Grace and peace, everybody. We are back. You did not see a thumbnail and you did not see a title because I just jumped in here to get at it. Y'all, yesterday we watched Candace read out all of that email that we all thought that she was being punked on. Y'all, I think she was being punked. I think she was being tricked. I think that email, first of all, let me just bring it in. Shout out to the best live chat. I know there was no thumbnail, there was no title. This one right here is crazy work. This is crazy. So let me bring the video in so we can just refresh our memories, just in case we forgot. Yesterday, Candace was reading out this long email and it gave us some addresses, and we all thought something was wrong. I felt the collective sigh of the best live chat on the internet was like, something's wrong with this. Like, reading this out just didn't seem right. I think she was getting punked. Watch this. Check this out. Just to refresh your memory, green hearts in the chat, when you can hear.
If this workspace arrived and left inside the same window as SUBTT. Government vehicles either pick up, monitor, or escort every government plane that lands there. So that's the standard. It's every single one. Feds don't just leave foreign government planes unwatched. It's a government plane, not a ghost plane. Someone has to come out, and we all know they're not going to just call an Uber. Given that I know most of the locations that these vehicles visit, I am entirely confident in stating that the plane and those vehicles are connected to 920 North King Street.
Okay. The planes and the vehicles are associated with, tied to 920 North King Street. Let me back that up again just to make sure I heard that correctly. And green hearts in the chat if you agree, if you heard that.
Unwatched. It's a government plane, not a ghost plane. Someone has to come out, and we all know they're not going to just call an Uber. Given that I know most of the locations that these vehicles visit, I am entirely confident in stating that the plane and those vehicles are connected to 920 North King Street, which is at a place that is marketed also as 1 Rodney Square. Nearly every federal vehicle that visits the airport will pass through King Street at least once.
Okay, did we all hear that? Did we hear that? I got this bad feeling that I think she's getting played. Okay, Jason, why do you believe that she's being played? Okay, the addresses that she read out are 1 Rodney Square, and I'm sorry, 1 Rodney Square and 920 North King Street, right? Okay, so those are the addresses of the places that allegedly all the naughty people go to, right? All the shenanigans go to. Let me pull it up, make sure it's nice and big right here. All right, I'm gonna pull this in now and I'm gonna let you see it. All right, so here's the addresses again. The 1 Rodney Square and the 920 North King Street in Wilmington, Delaware. Okay. Now, Jason, why do you think that she's being punked? Why do you think somebody is playing her? Well, I want you to think about it for a second. Why do I have this on the screen like this? You see it's on the screen. It gives some people's names on it, right? Just give you a little bit more. I think she got punked. I think she got tricked into reading that yesterday. I'll give you a little bit more. Counsel of the defendants. Oh, wait. What is this, Jason? What is this that you have that has that address, 1 Rodney Square and 920 North King Street? What is this, Jason? Wait, hold on. Amended complaint was served via wait, what is this, Jason? What is this? This is the address, the 920 North King Street and 1 Rodney Square is the address of Candace's attorneys. Her attorney's address This is the address. And what I'm showing you here is the amended complaint from, let me scroll all the way up to the top like a rock star. This is the amended complaint from the Macrones. And I left the link down in the description as well so you can see it. I think that person sent her this grandiose email and gave this address, and Candace didn't realize she was reading her lawyer's address. I'm sorry. I can't. Help me see it some way different, please. I left the link to this down in the description. So let me know, do you see this as well? This is the address. So she's a defendant, right? Candace Owens LLC, and George Tom Inc. That's her husband's company. She didn't know. Gosh, I wish I could scroll down faster. No, can I jump? All right. She didn't realize that the address that whoever was in that email yesterday that was telling her, I can't tell who I am. Let me finish reading this. Let it play out. Because now this makes so much more sense. That the person was like, oh, I can't give you my name. I can't tell you my verifications, but just trust me, bro. I think she got tricked. Just listen.
This workspace arrived and left inside the same window as SUBTT. Government vehicles either pick up, monitor, or escort every government plane that lands there. So that's the standard. It's every single one. Feds don't just leave foreign government planes unwatched. It's a government plane, not a ghost plane. Someone has to come out, and we all know they're not going to just call an Uber. Given that I know most of the locations that these vehicles visit, I am entirely confident in stating that the plane and those vehicles are connected to 920 North King Street, which is at a place that is marketed also as 1 Rodney Square. Nearly every federal vehicle that visits the airport will pass through King Street at least once, because that is where the majority of the vehicles are ultimately stationed. We do this because it is discreet. The reason people don't know about this is because assets can be transferred to cars without diplomatic plates. You can't just do transfers with diplomatic plates out in the open, or it would immediately tie assets to government. That's why the fleet is either federal, unmarked, or local. So when I say government vehicles, what I'm really saying is they most likely immediately swapped the plates for local, but they still had federal clearance. I'm going to skip this because I think this could be... The whole idea is they get in, they have a meeting, they get out, the plates are then changed back, and they go back to a designated area. However, sometimes it is decided that they need to have a meeting in a more convenient spot, a meeting that's not in a car. That is what I am telling you happened with SUBTT. It obviously would be impossible for me to show you the evidence of these activities because I obviously can't do that. I obviously can't pull dash cam or cameras, but I am telling you that this is known among insiders. And if you want confirmation, you can ask Intel insiders of yours, and they will confirm that that is exactly what happened. You may ask why this happened in the first place, and I'll give you my best information, and here's where it gets big. In June of 1997, the Department of Justice's own directory lists, quote, Wilmington Residence Office, 1 Rodney Square, Suite 404, 920 King Street, Wilmington, Delaware, 19801. That is your line to know that it is a federal resident office that is at that exact address. You can open it yourself. We confirm that. Wilmington Resident Office, Suite 404, 1 Rodney Square.
But she didn't confirm. She did not see that this is her attorney's office. I really cannot believe somebody did this to her. I'm praying that I'm wrong, but I'm looking here. This is her attorney's office. So she didn't know that her attorney's office, this was the address. And mind you, she's a defendant. They could have, and now if somebody was trying to prank the Macrons, they could have used a different address. They could have used this one this one is in Wilmington. The 919 building is in Wilmington. They could have used that one. But I think she got pranked. And I want to be wrong. But she's literally reading off her attorney's address. Help me. Even if I like this comment right here. Probably not, because her attorney practically lived at her house. She said one time her kids thought that they were part of the family. That's true, but they still have an office. They still have an office. She doesn't know that that's their office. And whoever sent her this elaborate email, we're going to finish reading it. Listen to it, because now the email sounds even more nefarious when a person's like, I can't confirm what I do here and this, that, and other. I can't give you my name. I can't give you my credentials. Now it makes sense. If that's what actually happened, that makes even more sense why this email sounded so weird yesterday. Let me back it up just a little smidgen and let's get done.
Link and look for a page titled 675. Okay, we did that. We confirmed that. Wilmington Resident Office, Suite 404, 1 Rodney Square. And so we can confirm this is, like he says or she says, the Department of Justice's own directory list. Okay. Today, if you punch that address into public directories, you will find the DEA, Drug Enforcement Agency, at 920 North King Street. And at the same address, the United States Secret Service, 920 North King Street, Wilmington, Delaware, 19801. Both are live. Both are at Suite 404. Both also publish phone numbers.
So if the big bugbear was that the Secret Service is in this building and the DEA is in this building, ma'am, so is your attorney. That's crazy work. Like, ma'am, your attorney's in that building. Wow. Okay, let's finish up. I did not plan on this. I don't have any script written out. Shout out to, there was actually a commenter who put this comment in the chat earlier and said, Candace, the address Candace read was her attorney's office. And I just thought the person was trolling me. And I looked and I'm like, holy spicy guacamole. I apologize. I removed the comments. I thought they were trolling me. She is reading her own attorney. Y'all, make this make sense. Help me understand. Okay. Maybe her attorney has punked her. It's possible.
In the Secret Service case, the agency's own 2025 field office list still shows Wilmington, Delaware. That means the suites that the Department of Justice owned in the 90s never actually went away. This eventually evolved into a multi-agency space in a commercial building. The building looks like if you decided to cut the 33 Thomas Street building in half. Seriously, if you Google image 33 Thomas Street in New York City, that's the building that Snowden leaked. Find one that makes it look brown and then compare it to 920 North King Street in Wilmington. It looks exactly like a mini version of the thing. The only difference is that 920 North King has glass windows. Now, you saw people on X saying that SUBTT has an alibi because it, quote unquote, aligns with a long-standing Falcon maintenance arrangement out of Wilmington that dates back to 1999. You remember that, guys? They told us, oh, they were just doing maintenance. This is maintenance here, maintenance there, scheduled maintenance. That's the part that really sent me, because I know, that's the part that really set me off, because I know that you are right about the plane, and I also know the truth about this plane. Yes, Wilmington used to have a Dassault Falcon authorized center, but it shut down around 2021. Then,
Thank you. I did it again. Shout out to the best live chat on the internet. I appreciate you. Okay. I'm wondering how much of any of this is true. How much of any of this is true? Because it does sound like Candace doesn't do her research. If you sat out here and read out these addresses and your actual law firm is in that building and you're trying to, you're trying to implicate all these other nefarious people, faceless people, when you yourself do business in this building, that's crazy work. That's some crazy work right there. I'm wondering how much of any of this is true. The whole thing about the servicing and the French getting involved, how much any of it is true? Because we've already seen tons of errors on her side. Is it possible that all of this is made up? This is crazy work. Let me finish this up. Shout out to the best live chat on the internet. I'm floored. I am floored.
And this is verifiable. In December of 2024, a French aircraft finishing company called Satys, Satys, announced that it was taking over the shuttered Wilmington Airport hangar. And every Delaware outlet said the same thing. Satys will invest a little over $1 million. And get this. So you see that? We are pulling that up. We have confirmed that that is true. This is a French company.
So what? You confirmed that, but you did not look at the fact that your own law firm that you are paying to fight against the Macrons are in the exact same building that this person is calling out. I think she got punked, y'all. I really can't think of another way. What would be another reason that you would not do the due diligence? That makes me think that you haven't even typed their address enough for it to even show up in autocorrect. When you type the address, it didn't pop up already, pre-populate. You're literally typing in your attorney's office and you're making it all this nefarious government organization and your attorney's in the building. Y'all.
Company that said they were going to take over this hangar in Wilmington.
Wow.
The Delaware River and Bay Authority is the one that is making that deal. DRBA is a bi-state authority, except the key part is that it operates on federally regulated waterways. Its own January 2024 resolution says that it was, quote, acquiring the rights to a paint hangar currently part of a Dassault leasehold and authorizing the executive director and board chair to execute that lease with Satys. So that is a River Bay Authority, the DRBA, that is executing an aviation lease on a field that sits on a navigable corridor. That
sounds really, really, high level espionage. I'm starting to wonder, did they just make this up? Like, is this like a James Bond script or a screenplay for, the Bourne Identity 4 or something? What are we listening to? If you did not do your due diligence, Candace, to see that this was actually your attorney's address, I got to pull that back up just in case. I have got to see this. That's your attorney's address that you're reading with all of this chutzpah, all of this big chested. You're reading your attorney's address. That took the cake right here. I'm about to give everybody blackout bingo already. Everybody get blackout bingo tonight. That's crazy. Oh, by the way, I did add some new bingo words. Tonight's bingo is going to be insane. That's insane. You're literally, I need somebody. You know what? I got to take a moment. Shout out to Phantom. Shout out to Phantom with the $20 super. Says this, let's say the email is true. The fact that high-level Egyptian officials are meeting with FBI covertly, that means that the U.S. has a foreign asset in the Egyptian military. That is great. Candace may have gotten that person unalived. But you know what? It's still bad. She's still going to have to go to that building to talk to her attorneys. Shout out. Thank you so much, Phantom, for the $20 super. I am completely stunned. Please tell me that this could be another way. Please tell me that this could go another way. That she did not just sit there with all of that chutzpah, because we're going to watch to the end where she whips her hair like she said something important. With all of that, and you're literally, I think you're getting played. Yo, I'm sorry, you got played, Candace. Is that possible? Did somebody do this to her? Y'all, did somebody send her a fake email with her attorney's address in it? And she sat there and read it out. And we did call it last night. We said something was wrong. We didn't think something was wrong with it. I think reading out these addresses is totally inappropriate to start with. But I digress. Did she do this? Just play it, Jason. Just stop.
He puts it in the orbit of a federal system. The chain here that would report from the people who control the rivers would be DRBA to the Army Corps of Engineers, the Secretary of the Army and the Secretary of Defense to the President. So now you can say with complete honesty that the federal government was aware of and signed off on the plane and hangar situation. Now, I'm not claiming a direct line of authority for that. I'm saying that anyone who tells you that the influence is not there is either misinformed or lying. I'm also not saying that POTUS himself did this, but the government was undeniably involved with that hangar and the plane that you are eyeing. Not to mention, Representative McBride is the statewide rep for that place. Again, I'm not saying that McBride has anything to do with this because I wouldn't know that, but it is noteworthy. What you can honestly say, though, is this. If SUBTT has been doing this run for decades, it could not have been using a 2024 French finishing lease as its maintenance justification. In fact, your own timeline shows how they traveled to France before the deal was even made. It proves that the maintenance story is nothing but a cover. That hangar is undeniably either another site in and of itself or it is a front for something else. Back to 920 North King Street. When you Google FBI Wilmington Resident Agency, you should check the address in the Google info panel. You will likely get 920 North King Street with the label Federal Bureau of Investigation instead of the public FBI.
So, okay. I don't think I'm gonna make it, y'all. I really don't. This is too good. So the man, whoever it is, even told you, why don't you go ahead and Google it? Why don't you Google the address? She Googles the address and she does not see that it's her own attorney's office. Y'all, whoever did that, first of all, I have to know that this is fake. But my goodness, in the morning, the fact that you did not know that this was your attorney's office is going to have to go on the list of the craziest things I've seen today. And I've seen some crazy things today. But this right here is insane. That's crazy work. Your attorney is in the building with the FBI. So you want us to think that this Egyptian nationals, these no-name Egyptians are the bad guys when, ma'am, your own attorney is in the building. Why are we not looking at you as the person? Why are we not looking at you, Candace? We don't know these unnamed Egyptians. They're over there walking like Egyptians. You're the one over here looking like a whole stir-fried fool that you are reading off your attorney's address as if that's an indictment. Ma'am, it's your attorney. Y'all, I think the Macrons did this. I think the Macrons did this. I'm done. Just bring this back up, Jason. I can't. I just cannot believe this.
FBI address that's at 500 Delaware Avenue, Suite 300, which is just a bank tower. You can confirm that 500 Delaware Ave is the borough's public-facing spot, but Google will tell you that 920 North King Street is also the FBI. That is not a mistake. The FBI is also stationed at 920 North King Street. They list it straight in the DOJ's 90s directory. Further, the Secret Service is not a part of the Department of Justice. They are the Department of Homeland Security. So this actually seems to be a joint DOJ DHS site, which verifiably houses 3 different agencies and possibly more, all at the same time. I've looked for a while, and to this day, I don't see any other location that does that. I guarantee you've never personally heard of a federal site operating like that either. No matter what anybody tells you, if they say they lease like that all the time, that is not a justification. Multiple agents of multiple different agencies in one suite is not common or typical in the slightest. A joint office is common, but there's a line to draw between a joint office and at least 3 different agencies alongside contractors all operating in one place. Also, take a look.
I'm sorry. That last sentence sealed it for me, y'all. That last sentence completely sealed it for me. They're saying one of the things that Candace does really well is she says things very, very confidently. And she says it so confidently, you might even be like, whoa, whoa, whoa. She'll say, your name is John or your name is Sally. And you'll be like, is my name John? Is my name Sally? Like, she says things very confidently. This writing right here is extremely confident. And I think she's actually kowtowing to it. I don't think she did any of the research. I think she trusted it on face value and ran with it. Because I'm sorry, just because I'm certain somebody's going to show me some military institutions, some alphabet boys and girls, and them working together in the same building. But that person wrote it so confidently that Candace was like, oh, absolutely. It's got to be true. That's some nasty work. Whoever did this, you are the real MVP. Wow. I think she got punked, y'all. I'm sorry. You're going to have to show me otherwise. I think she got played.
Look at the borough's own press release from December 5th, 2024. Christopher Wray, quote, met with key partners and stressed how critical FBI partnerships are to protecting our communities. They chose to mention partners. They didn't say that he met with agents that were assigned in Wilmington. They foregrounded partnerships. That's the vocabulary that they use when the space is not purely FBI and it lines up with what is actually happening at 920 North King Street, which is the FBI, the DEA, and the USSS, United States Secret Service, and others are working together in a commercial tower. Here is the link for that press release. In that link, Ray confirms that the place houses private partners as well. He says, quote, if you step back and look at how much closer our partnerships are now than they were 5 or 10 years ago, it's a defining trend. I think of significance of this positive transformation. We have an entire generation of law enforcement and the private sector working together, trying to figure out how to help each other and to have each other's backs. Yeah, to have each other's backs. So let's recap these facts.
All right, let's listen to these again.
On September 10th, an Egyptian government aircraft with a history of flying to France and the United States lands at a small Delaware airport under a French company maintenance pretext that doesn't actually match the hangar timeline because the French visit predates the French company's deal. Within an hour, federal SUVs move from that airport to 920 North King Street. 920 North King Street has been a federal residence office since at least 1997, and today it houses the DEA, the FBI, and the United States Secret Service, all at the same address. The hangar the plane would have used is controlled through a DRBA lease that itself is nested in federal waterways. The FBI also publicly talks about key partners in Wilmington on the same year that the hangar reactivates. I'm going to skip this next portion because he tells me how I can verify this. And like I said, I did that.
But
Once
did
more,
you?
go through this logic and ask yourself how this makes any sense. On November 13th, 2022, SUBTT flies from Cairo to Paris to Wichita, Kansas, to Wilmington, Delaware, back to Cairo. That is already a 4-leg, 2-continent hop that ends in Wilmington before going home. 4 days later, on November 17th, 2022, it does Egypt to Wilmington, again, departing at 8:54 a.m., and this time it stays in Wilmington until November 20th, and only then returns to Cairo. So that is 2 Wilmington arrivals in the same week. Nobody burns a government Falcon 7X on 2 separate Wilmington runs for no reason. I mean, just look at the choice of St. Louis, Wichita, Omaha, Lincoln, Williston, Minot, and Provo. None of these are standard diplomatic hubs. Most of those don't even have major consulates, and absolutely none of them are known for large-scale Egyptian presence, so that immediately undermines the whole "it's just a maintenance stop" excuse. Ask yourself, why else a state aircraft would hopscotch across America to remote cities if its purpose was just servicing at a defunct Wilmington Assault Center? Wilmington is undeniably a terminal point, and the only logical reason points to 920 North King Street. I could go through all of the dates and do this, but you already mapped the flights, so you already understand exactly what I'm saying. Obviously, I can't tell you how I know this or who I am or exactly who it is that I work for. My motive is simply that I can no longer keep this stuff in my head anymore. I just need somebody with a history of doing the right thing and figuring out the entire truth. I hope you can understand why I cannot verify my employment here. I took a big risk to tell the truth, and my hope is that you will at least check me on it. Analyze and verify the flight patterns.
All right. That's the end of that. What do y'all think? And I'm gonna give you all, because there's 519 of you all in here. I did a video early this morning about the whole flight plane situation. There's a young guy on Twitter who dissected that whole argument. And because there's 519 of y'all up in here, and y'all got my likes where they need to be, I'm hoping and believing, I'm gonna show y'all that video. So it's not even edited yet. It's not even ready to go. My editor's gonna be like, "What the heck you doing, Jason?" I'm just gonna show it with y'all. So if y'all got my likes where they need to be, let's do that. Do y'all think she got tricked? I need to know in the chat. Green hearts if you think she got tricked, and of course, no if you don't think she got tricked. Right. Oh, come on. This is it right here. That sounds like a fake plea. Like, please, I really want you to believe me. I'm not lying to you. There's no way I could be lying to you. What y'all think? In the chat. Green hearts if you think she was tricked. Oh, somebody says no. Okay. All right. Do you think I mean, by her attorneys is crazy. That's some nasty work. Her attorneys are setting her up for the wet up. That is crazy work right there. But no, I just think, like, that's crazy. Now, I want to show you again how many likes we got up in here. We got a whole bunch of folk up in here. I appreciate y'all jumping in, because this was not planned, right? Get those likes right. The likes is looking good. Come on. Help a brother out. Help a brother out. Okay. So again, there's a gentleman on Twitter who took apart, sliced apart, dissected her whole thing about the spreadsheets and the planes and the 4-leg trip and all that kind of stuff like that. I did a video on it and sent it to my editor, and he didn't get it back to me yet. So what we gonna do, Jason? We're gonna play the video now. Let y'all check it out. I just think it is adorable, because this yet adds to the narrative that I don't think she does any research. She says it confidently. I did this. I checked it. We verified it. How did you verify it? Because a lot of you probably brought this up on Monday with the pregnant mommy sleuth. Remember her? And she did like the 15-hour research to compare the flight patterns. And she's the one that came up with the planes are tracking Erica. I want you to watch this, and you just let me know. I think she's being played by the tip line is her new op. That's what I'm going to say. Shout out to the best live chat on the internet. Here we go.
Part of the problem that a lot of people have with Candace and this Egyptian plane foolishness is that she's not giving details in a way that other people can fully understand it. So they have to just take Candace at her word, because they're like, well, surely nobody would make this up. Well, shout out to this gentleman on X who took the time to actually do the research, do the back work, if you will. And let's see what he has. Fact check on Candace's 73 flight overlaps claims that about Egyptian, let's just call it SUBTT. We're going to call it BTT and BND and Charlie Kirk and Erica. I pulled the same planes, dates from her own spreadsheet and checked against the Flight Radar 24 and ADS-B logs. These aren't typos. These are overt intentional lies. All right, let's find out what happens. Owen says an anonymous pregnant mommy sleuth and the decentralized intelligence agents uncovered a years-long surveillance op on Erica that she and her team somehow missed, and that she personally totally verified the data. That is her claim, not mine. She sells us as proof that of a joint Egyptian-Israeli Protestant-Jewish corporate deep state conspiracy orbiting or colluding with the widow of a murdered man. So very simply, do the flights she shows on BTT and BND actually exist where and when she says they do? Since buzzwords confuse a lot of people, I took her spreadsheet entries for BTT and BND from the last 12 months and checked them date by date against public ADS-B history for those tail numbers using tools like Flight Radar 24, same dates, same aircraft. Example 1, her claim on the 8th of December 2024, BND flew Provo, Paris, Salt Lake City, and this counted as an overlap with Erica. Reality, BND landed in Cairo on the 7th of December and sat on the ground there until the 10th of December. It never left Egypt on the dates that she's selling her audience. And let's just see real quick. This is too big. Sorry about that. Pause. This does not look good at all, Jason. Okay.
Shout out to my editor.
The plane landed in Cairo on the 7th and took back off on the 10th. Okay. Am I understanding that right? Yeah. All right. We're not going to click on these anymore because they messed up. All right. Please go check out this gentleman's, all these different links that he just posted because they're messing up my screen share when I click on them. Example 2, her claim 12 January 2025, BTT flew to Paris, Wichita, and Cairo. Okay, got you. Reality, the jet is in Cairo, flies out in a loop back to Cairo. There is no Paris to Wichita hop, no Kansas, no overlap, just Egypt. Okay, and here's his evidence to that point. Example 3, her claim on the 17th of January 25, BTT again flying Paris to Wichita. Reality, never left Egypt, took off in Cairo, down to a base, back to Cairo. Example 4, her claim on the 8th of February, 15th of March, 19th of April, 18th of June showed numerous trips. Reality, each time plane was in Cairo. The multi-leg routes she is selling literally never happened. I do want people to explain, like, how did she get this information? Because it seems pretty obvious here. I would love for maybe one of the mommy sleuths to explain, but even worse than that, what does this got to do with anything? I don't think any of this even matters. Shout out to this person for debunking it, for sure. This is not a typo. Across the sheet, flights are recycled to inflate the overlap count. Routes are invented, and Erica is attached to flights with no geographical or topical connection to her actual life. It is either fabrication or malignant incompetence. And y'all could check those links out. I checked the last 12 months because archived ADS-B data older than 365 days costs money. Anyone can do this part. This is the cheapest, easiest, and openly verifiable part of the claim. She calls completely verified, and it's a wall-to-wall lies.
So I want to ask that question. Did Candace verify this stuff? Because she said the mommy sleuth gave her years of data. Did you verify this at all? Because we've already seen in the last 12 months that you're wrong. Did you verify those other, the 24 months, the 36 months, whatever? Did you verify that? Okay. I think there's going to be a problem. Let's go.
So let's be clear. Using her own spreadsheet against real flight data, there's no multi-year surveillance campaign. Now, I want to just add, if what he said here is true, that you have to pay for it, that means that mommy sleuth had to pay for this. I wonder, did she admit that she paid for it? Does she acknowledge that she paid for it? Because she said it was years. So if you have to pay for it after 365 days, did that mommy sleuth, the pregnant mommy sleuth, did she pay for it? There's no Egypt to Utah jet hopping pursuit. There's no hidden briefcase handoff between Erica and Egyptians buried in flight logs. It's not the Jews. It's not the Protestants. It's not TPUSA. It's not Zionists or anyone other than Candace Owens. This is a monetized true crime script built on lies, lack of integrity, ignorance, and complacence. If you think I'm wrong, do what Candace Owens claims she did. Take her spreadsheet, pull the same tail numbers and the same dates, run them against Flight Radar 24 or any ADS-B history. When you do, you will see the same thing I did. Disclaimer, I have no dog in the race. I don't even use this app. But any husband, dad should hope that if you are violently murdered and a vapid, money-hungry lady or ranting, delusional person, you decide which, comes at your wife's somehow, you actually use Google for them. I mean, come on. Shout out to this person for sure. So I think this is very interesting because I don't know all this flight data information. So I have to take either Candace at her word or this young man at his word. Let me just click on this real quick and see. All right, so we see BND, and it is going from Cairo. It does a loop, and comes back around. I don't know, maintenance, engine check, instrument panel check, whatever. So this literally did a loop. I agree. So did Candace actually do this research? She said it's verifiable. So she did say that she put her name on it. And it seems like her name, it didn't do well. It didn't do well for her to put her name on it. I'm just looking to see if I missed anything else.
Shout out to my editor.
We got all the little sub comments. What do you think down in the comments below? Let me know. Do you think that Candace is on the money or think she's wrong? Let me know. I appreciate y'all. Grace and peace.
All right. All right. Shout out for sure. All right. Candace is proven wrong. Lying flight data, lied first aid, lied autopsy, lied about Charlie's text, lied. And that is who Scamdus is. Shout out. Thank you so much, Elizabeth. I appreciate you. Shout out to these supers right here. What did Phantom save the $2? The planes need maintenance every 400 hours of flight, which is easy to accumulate when you think about how many a private jet that you're leasing out or chartering out. You're probably going to be moving that thing quite a bit. So 400 hours doesn't seem like a reach at all. At all. Shout out for sure. Thank you so much, Amethyst Angel, for the 10. She says this: I keep telling you that some of the dum-dums are fed or trolls. Guilty as charged. I agree with you 100%. I've been screaming this from the rooftops. The player is getting played. She's playing advanced checkers against supreme chess players. Shout out. Y'all, I think she got played, y'all. I really do. Thank you so much for that very kind super right there. I appreciate you for sure. I mean, I guess you can say that maybe she didn't get played, but what would be your justification for Candace not knowing? Somebody sending this very cryptic email is super elaborate, lots of spy data, lots of innuendos and such like that, but they can't tell you who they are. They can't tell you where they work and such like that. And it just so happens that the address that they're giving you, whether it really is the FBI's headquarters, is really beside the point. but your own attorney is in the building. And you didn't know that? That didn't hit you at all. You didn't say, this address looks familiar. I'll be sending a check here every month. Like, really? That didn't? Okay. I don't believe, I think this is becoming true now. She's not fact checking at all, just running with the gossip. I can't see another way around it. And I'm open. Hear me. Because this right here, I think would totally torpedo her whole story. If it's found that she's being played by the mommy sleuths, that trolls and Fed agents are in the tip line giving her advice and giving her direction, and she sat there big-chestedly reading that yesterday with all of that bravado, and we were all like, oh, should he be giving out addresses like that? Are you supposed to be doing that? If that's what actually happened, and you read out your own attorney's address, what does Captain Jack say here? I believe the FBI has sent SEAL Team 6 tip line info so they couldn't play a drinking game at the office after. No doubt, no question. SEAL Team 6 is having a drinking game. Yo, they're probably like, I can't believe she fell for this. Come on, y'all. Y'all know that thing read like a James Bond script? It read like a James Bond script yesterday. We were all like, this don't sound right. Come on. You know that. You know it, right? She's the player? You think she played herself? Yo, that is some crazy work. If that happened, because you know the vast majority of her intel comes from the tip lines, and now she can no longer trust the tip line? Where does this story go? Where does the investigation go when you can't trust the people that are giving you the information? That's some nasty work. Whoever did that, if that is in fact true, yo, that is wild work. Wait, did Crowder say something about it? Thank you, Alicia Jones, for the very kind $2. No question, no comment, just pure love of the game. I appreciate you. Thank you so much. All right, so I did not plan on being long. This was truly an impromptu live stream. I saw this and I said, I cannot believe what I'm looking at. And just in case you were wondering, just in case you're like, hold on, well, what did I miss? You just hopped into the best live chat on the internet and you're like, okay, what did I miss, Jason? I gladly will go back over it very quickly. Candace yesterday read out some addresses of some secret spy organizations that are doing secret spy stuff all around the world, and they're secret spies. Well, the funny thing is the address that she read out is actually the address of her attorney. And if she didn't know that and she got played by that, that's crazy. But let's just say that truly all that other stuff is true. You know, the DEA is in there and the FBI and the partners and the shared offices and stuff like that. And apparently these Egyptians are doing some bad things, right? Well, if that be the case, then ma'am, shouldn't we be looking at your own attorneys who are sharing the same building with them? How do we know they're not feds? How do we know that they're not doing naughty things with the feds and the other alphabet boys and girls? How do we know that? We don't. And man, that is some grade A. I don't know. Did somebody troll her? Do you think somebody trolled Candace? Because if they did, look, I got to take my hat off to the troll. I got to take mad respect for whoever did that. And maybe it's true. Maybe it's 100% true. But even in that, it still doesn't absolve the fact that your own attorney is in this building. So all of that shade that you was throwing, guess what? That same shade goes to your attorneys. That's crazy work, y'all. This is out of control. we are going to be doing a live stream tonight at 7:00. Shout out to the best live stream on the planet. I have dad duty over at the high school. So when I get done with that, I'm going to be hightailing it. I'll probably leave my car running. Get in the car, kid. Be quiet. We got to go. I will be back here at 7:00. I have a special guest that's coming to watch the live stream with us. So you want to be here. We're going to have a good time. We will be playing Candy Rock Bingo. We will be making fun of her. Oh my goodness. If this is true. All right, this Adam guy. Somebody said, how do I find Adam? Let me find his Twitter. Shout out to that gentleman. Let me find it real quick. I will find it for you in a second. That's a good question. Thank you so much for that. Let me pull it back in here. Hold
Thank
on.
you so much for tuning in
On okay, it is Boehner, Bay1 Nerd, Bio Nerd, Bayou Nerd. All right. I'm gonna drop it in the chat. If there you go. Thank you for asking about that. I want to give him credit for that. I was just reading his work, but here he is on the Twitter. Let me pull him in. All right, so all right, here he is on the Twitter. Here's a breakdown of the last 365 days of Candace Owens spreadsheet, where she claims 73 overlaps between Erica Kirk and 2 Egyptian aircraft. On her show, she bragged she had totally verified the data and even added more herself. Unfortunately, that wasn't true. All right, so check him out. Check his homework. Make sure you give him a shout out for at least doing that. And I'm going to have to go check this part out myself. This might be worth it. It might be worth a part 2. All right. Y'all, thank y'all so much for rocking with us. Yes, this is, wait. Lewis's firm represents clients suing Candace. Right. Wait, what? Well, thank you so much for rocking with us. Namaste. I appreciate you. Oh, you know what? I need to make sure I follow his brother. Yeah, there we go. Make sure I do that. All right, good folk. I am going to make my way on over there, but I want to see y'all this evening at 7 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. I have a guest coming on. I think you all are going to like her. I think you're going to like her. Hint, hint, it's a her. But I think you're going to like it. We're going to have a good time. So thank you all, everybody who jumped in. We're looking forward to having a good conversation with you. And I'm going to see y'all this evening. Thank you again. Until then, my good people, grace and peace. Take care. Thank you so much for tuning in to another episode of the Jay Witt Podcast. If you enjoyed today's show, please do me a favor and hit me up with that 3-piece special. Like the video, subscribe, and of course, share it with somebody who would also enjoy this type of content. And make sure you leave a comment, because I do pin the best comments to the top. So thank you so much for tuning in today. And until next time, everybody, grace and peace.